Karate! Jabba jing a ding dong do. That was a very cool little random bit of music. That was supposed to be Word of the Week, but it just sounded much more like music, so I kind of put it in then. Thank you, Gamerbox. Jabba jing a ding dong do. Okay, this was commented a few weeks back, and I really don't quite get it. I mean, do I really sound like Austin Powers when you shut your eyes? I don't think I do. You know what time it is. Not that time. New stuff time it is. In a world where everyone is obsessed with being thin, one woman wants to be fat. Donna Simpson, already in the Guinness World Book of Records, as the world's biggest mum, wants to be even bigger. The 42-year-old woman from New Jersey, USA, already weighs 600 pounds, which is around 43 stone. But she hopes to break the 1,000 pound barrier, making her half a ton. She eats whole cakes, bags of donuts, and tries to move as little as possible. To fund this marvellous idea, she runs her own website, where people actually pay her to watch her eat lots of stuff. This dog was worth a lot of money. This New York jeweler's golden retriever ate a £12,000, that's $20,000 diamond ring. The dog's name, Solly, was taken to the vet, where they said nature will have to take its course. Eventually it did, so it's not quite as a rich dog anymore. Last week I brought you a man who married basically a character on his DS. This week I bring you even differenter news. Lee, who is 28 years old, can be described now as an obsessive nerd. He fell in love with a pillow. He purchased this pillow in Japan, and it features the image of basically his television cartoon hero womany thing. And they have been dating for the last 6 years. Well, basically now they've got married, and if you want to see a weird video in Japanese of this guy walking around with this pillow, check the doobly-doo. Quickly, for those of you that don't know, a doobly-doo is the description box, which, if you're on old YouTube, will be at the side or slightly below the video to the right. If you're on new type YouTube, will be carefully streamlined below the video, bringing you 2 really short, super short reviews. First of all, Alice in Wonderland in 3D. The film was great graphically. Like, they must have pumped millions into this film, because the whole way through the CGI is amazing, especially on like the way all the different characters, like their heads are bigger than they're supposed to be, especially Tweedledee and Tweedledum, the way they're just sort of big blobs of fat that manage to talk. It's proper cool. Still the theme of Alice in Wonderland, but it's a completely different storyline. Basically it's when Alice goes back and she sort of saves everything. Sort of spoiling the whole thing there, but it's a good film, and it is quite good for a laugh as well. The Crazies was an amazing film. It's sort of a horror thriller. It's not really scary, but it makes you jump like the entire way through the film, and makes you think don't drink tap water. It's got tap water in it. Halfway through the film you find out what actually is turning people crazy, which is a nice way, because normally in one of these sort of thriller films you find out right at the end and you're like, oh well, that was a bit crap, but this one you find out halfway through and then they're still trying to survive it for the rest of the film, which is sort of a good twist from a thriller film, what they normally are. Throughout the film you're literally sort of off your seat jumping for half the film. There's some good sort of violence where forks go through people and stuff like that, so if you're interested in that sort of good gore, good jumpy stuff, why aren't you watching it? Okay, word of the week this time. So I picked this one. Okay, there's 2 there, isn't there? But I'm picking Shuboo. We'll come back to Shub in a minute. Okay, Shaboo is a really cool invention if anyone can pull it off. First of all, it is the great game of boo. You have to try and make someone jump by just going boo. But you have to do it silently. Shh. So you have to go shboo. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you have to just sort of go, because it's a silent boo. Can anyone get anyone to jump by just not saying boo? Definitely worth a go. Okay, now this week it's going to be a bit different. Instead of coming up with a word of the week for next time, because like so many of you commented last time, come up with a meaning for the word shoob. Get your thinking caps on. Okay, now comment your meaning, definition of this word below, or post it as a video response and I will pick the best one or two for next week. Okay, that is all from me today. You have been watching
Satisfaction.
With the new like system, or dislike system, it only takes 1 second to rate. Enjoy jogging on. Goodbye. Farewell.